So we've got a Kamala Harris economic advisor, who gets absolutely wrecked on live TV by CNBC hosts of all people. That was interesting, but we got to talk about this. This is crazy, guys. I'm Jared. This is Continue Freedom. If this is your first time here, welcome aboard. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave comments below. We're on X, Locals, Rumble, and YouTube. And be sure to share this video. And if you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so you are notified every time I release a new video. So let's go ahead and listen to this. This is them talking about taxing unrealized gains. And we're going to talk about some of the long-term implications of this. Let's go for it.
Taxing unrealized gains just doesn't seem fair in any sense of the word. In the very best sense, if you are taxing unrealized gains, all you're doing is pulling forward the taxes that would be paid later when someone actually sells the stock.
I think that this reaction to unrealized gains is a little funny, given that I bet that the majority of people watching right now are already paying a tax on unrealized gains. It's called a property tax. When the value of your home goes up,
it's a use tax.
When the value of your home goes up, you pay higher taxes, even if you don't sell your home.
Your value of your home never moves the way a stock moves, the way something else moves.
That's always the go-to answer.
It's also, property tax is a use tax. You're paying for the schools, you're paying for emergency services. Those are things that make absolute sense.
And sure, and all the revenue that comes in from these unrealized gains taxes and the other taxes in the Harris plan are going to go to creating what she calls more opportunity.
Here we go. The vagaries about what they are actually going to do this. They're calling this a billionaire tax, and they're saying it's on unrealized gains over 100 million. Well, you have to think as well about the impact this can have, first off, on the middle class, because when you've got businesses that are taking on capital investment and that they are growing, now you're saying, okay, well, if you grow too big, if you get too big, we're going to have to take away some of that. We got to take away 25% of the growth in value of that business. So it completely disincentivizes capital investment and startups. And those are the people that are eventually going to grow into companies that are going to be hiring people in the middle class. So yeah, of course, this is stifling economic growth, stifling ingenuity, stifling investment in potentially larger companies and ideas that could become something huge. And they're saying, no, we got to tax it. Of course, we're gonna increase opportunity. Okay, how exactly are you going to do that? We're already giving you $4.5 trillion a year. Let's keep listening
to make sure that every newborn born in this country gets $6,000
using the services.
Well, look, you're arguing that this is some sort of foreign concept that's completely unknown in the U.S. tax code.
It's probably unconstitutional. It's probably, and it was never in anyone's intent.
It's not income. It's not an income tax.
And it's never going to happen, probably.
It's never going to happen, probably. Famous last words. But think about this. This is the equivalent of your house. Think about this housing boom and everybody's saying, man, my house has gone up. I could sell it tomorrow. But nobody is selling it because they can't buy the same thing that they've got for that amount of money. So yeah, they're saying, oh, my house has gone up like crazy. So imagine you had a house that you paid $250,000 for. All of a sudden, it's worth $500,000. Well, that difference, that $250,000, can be taxed at 25%. Well, you don't have that extra. You don't have the 25% of that, 100% increase in the value of your home. You don't have it because you haven't sold your house yet. So now they can put a tax lien on it. Now they're saying this is on 100 million or greater. But look, we have to understand there's always been mission creep of some sort when it comes to taxation, regulation, all of these things. And so when they do it to billionaires, when they start getting desperate, as they will, because they keep spending more and more of our money, it's going to make its way. If they can do it to a billionaire, they can do it to somebody who's made $200,000 on the value of their house. It's sitting, stagnant value in their house. But they can do it to you as well when things get absolutely desperate. So no, of course we don't. And it's not just Republicans who don't think we should be doing this. There's Democrats as well. Rogue Hanna, here's a prime example of a very much a Democrat. And he's like, this is the wrong way to go because we understand how this is going to stifle innovation. This is going to stifle capital investment.
I don't think a blanket tax on unrealized gain is a good thing. I mean, let's say you're an entrepreneur. You create a company. It gets to 100 million or 200 million on paper. Now, if you're taxing that, you're probably going to force that person to sell it. They're probably going to sell it to private equity. Do you really want the entrepreneurs to be forced to sell their companies to larger institutions and to decline in value? I don't think that that's what you want for a startup ecosystem.
Unintended consequence. Jeff Bezos wouldn't have to do that. They're going after these very, I think the whole policy is demagoguing to go after these people that they say pay less of a tax rate than their maid does, and they have billions of dollars.
I get why, but this is not the right way to do it. And also 95% of investments in startups fail. And so you're going to disincentivize investments in those startups. But let me tell you why.
So, I mean, there you have it. I mean, Ro Khanna lays it out perfectly. But, I mean, you have to just think this is like, it could be the stock market too. This could eventually come down the pipe. They say, well, this isn't enough, 25% on anything over 100 million. So we've already, because once they stifle that market, they stifle the capital investment, they stifle the ingenuity of those people who have great ideas, great business ideas, and they find people to invest in them, and then they grow it to the level, it's 9 figures. Now they're going to disincentivize that. So when that market comes down, they got to go somewhere. Well, what's one of the biggest and most easily accessible places for them to tax people? The housing market. And, they say, oh, well, you already pay a property tax. Look, a property tax is done by the state and by the city, and that's your locale. That is your, one of your smaller units in which you exist, and it's paying for essential services and all this. When the Democrats take money, when the government takes money, they say, well, you get value for your money. Did that happen with Obamacare? And what other ways did that happen? It never happens. We never get the value that we're investing when we give them 25, 35% of our money. And then you've got businesses. Look at small businesses. Look at farms. Small businesses that are LLCs and pass-through entities. It might show on the books that they're making $500,000 a year, $1 million a year, $2 million a year. It's not actual money. A lot of people making their business, their LLC, doing $1 million a year, $2 million a year. They're only making $50,000, $60,000 a year because they incur all the expenses, all the risk, all the other taxes that they're already paying. And then I'll go to farmers, and this is the last one I'll close on. But farmers, you think about these family farmers. This is something that Kristi Noem has talked about a lot. These small farmers are sitting on land that's been in their family for generations. They're farming it. They're contributing to society by putting food on our tables, and now their land has exponentially grown in value since their great-great-granddaddy first got a piece of land and bought a little more and bought a little more, and it's expanded over the years. Now they've got $30, $40 million worth of land. Those people don't have $30 or $40 million. But when they get desperate, the mission creep will come in and they will say, well, I know this farm is now worth $30 million when your great-great-grandpappy bought it, or when you bought your last plot of land, it was worth $2 million, or maybe it was worth $100,000 way back in the day. Yeah, we're gonna need to collect the 25% tax. And then what do you have to do? You have to sell it. They have to sell it. Farm shuts down. You sell it to somebody who's got that type of cash on hand, like a Bill Gates. This is a horribly destructive policy, and I don't think people have thought it all the way through. But we have. Today, we have. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave comments below, and then go ahead and hit that notification bell, right? And then share this video as well to help get me outside of this pesky YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Love y'all.